Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, the VA eyes an aggressive deployment of AI, and more than 100 cyber experts urge senators to confirm President Trump's pick to be Pentagon CIO. It's Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Now let's dive into the day's top headlines. A key technology leader at the Department of Veterans Affairs told lawmakers Monday that the agency intends to capitalize on artificial intelligence to help overcome its persistent difficulties in providing timely care and maintaining cost-effective operations. At the same time, a federal watchdog warned the same lawmakers that the VA could face challenges before the agency can effectively do so. Lawmakers on the House VA Subcommittee on Technology Modernization pressed Charles Worthington, the VA's Chief Data Officer and Chief Technology Officer, over the agency's plans to deploy AI across its dozens of facilities as the federal government increasingly turns to automation technology. Worthington told the subcommittee that all VA employees now have access to a secure generative AI tool to assist them with their work, claiming that it's saving them over 2 hours per week. He also outlined how the agency is utilizing machine learning in agency workflows, as well as in clinical care for earlier disease detection and ambient listening tools that are expected to be rolled out at some facilities later this year. The technology can also be used to identify veterans who may be at high risk of overdose and suicide, Worthington added. Carol Harris, the Government Accountability Office's Director of Information Technology and Cybersecurity, later revealed during the hearing that VA officials told the watchdog that, quote, existing federal AI policy could present obstacles to the adoption of generative AI, including in the areas of cybersecurity, data privacy, and IT acquisitions, unquote. Harris noted that generative AI can require infrastructure with significant computational and technical resources, which the VA has reported issues accessing and receiving funding for. The GAO outlined an AI accountability framework in a full report to solve some of these issues. Lawmakers, however, also raised questions over the VA's preparedness to deploy the technology to the agency's more than 170 facilities. In addition to that, lawmakers also repeatedly raised concerns about the data privacy given VA's extensive collection of medical data. Amid these questions, Worthington maintained that all AI systems must meet, quote, rigorous security and privacy standards, unquote, before receiving an authority to operate within the agency. Now moving on to other news, a slew of cybersecurity experts from industry and other organizations sent a letter to lawmakers Monday urging them to move swiftly to confirm Kirsten Davies as Department of Defense Chief Information Officer. That letter, addressed to members of the Senate Armed Services Committee and viewed by DefenseScoop, includes more than 100 signatories. President Donald Trump nominated Davies for the role back in May, but the Senate Armed Services Committee waited until this week to hold her confirmation hearing, which is scheduled for Thursday. The cybersecurity experts who penned the new letter expressed their strongest support for the nominee. In the letter, they wrote, quote, Ms. Davies is a leader we know personally and professionally. Many of us have collaborated with her, witnessed her steady hand in high-stakes situations, and observed her ability to lead with both conviction and humility. She has built a reputation as a world-class cybersecurity executive who can earn trust, build teams, and navigate complexity, unquote. Davies has served in high-level IT and cybersecurity roles at major firms in the private sector, including as Chief Information Security Officer at Unilever, Senior Vice President and Chief Information Security Officer at Estee Lauder Companies, Managing Director and Group Security Officer at Barclays Africa, Vice President of Enterprise Security Strategy and Transformation Solution at Hewlett-Packard, Global Deputy CISO at Siemens, and Senior Associate at Booz Allen Hamilton. If confirmed as CIO, Davies would replace Katie Arrington, the Pentagon CISO, who is currently performing the duties of the CIO. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit fedscoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, as always, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.